Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Anna Vanila Arts. I am Anna Vanila and this is the channel where I share absolutely everything with you. I do crafts, arts and crafts, and I'm doing a lot of tapestry work, macrame, knitting, crocheting and drawing and painting. And in this video I'm sharing with you a pattern which I like so much. I've knitted already about 22 centimeters long. It's actually a hat. I like knitting hats because they are good, they are beautiful, they are warm, they are nice to wear, comfortable to wear. And this pattern I loved so much, I thought about sharing it with you. And hopefully if you love this pattern so much, because it's so simple also so very simple, is good for beginners. This pattern, it generally is very good. I've chosen this pattern to be for a hat that I'm showing you now. And hopefully you will like this pattern enough to make one, and we can create beautiful things together. So the needles are size number 4.5. I've got 86 loops, 86 stitches on my needles. The yarn is acrylic yarn, and that's how we knit it. So we take with the right needle, the first loop, and we transfer it onto the needle. Then we knit a purl stitch like so. Then we put the yarn in front of us, like the way we knit purl stitches is always the yarn on the front of the needles. But in this case you put the yarn in front of you and you knit, and you actually slide and put it on to the right needle. Then we do a purl stitch, then we put the yarn in front of a front stitch, and then we release it, so we do not knit the front stitch. So purl stitch, then we put the yarn also yet again in front of the needle like so, and we grab the front stitch from behind like so, and we leave the yarn in front of a front stitch, and we knit the purl stitch again. In the front is the thread, and we basically grab it with a second front needle, purl stitch, front needle like that, purl stitch, we put the yarn in front of a front stitch, and we just release it, so we do not knit the front stitch. This is the first row. This is how we knit it. It's all simple, good for beginners, and that's how we knit it with front stitch. We do not knit then purl stitch, front stitch with the yarn in front of it, then we knit the purl stitch, then the front stitch we do not knit but the yarn in front of it, purl stitch, the yarn in front of the front stitch, and this is how we knit a whole of this row. This is the front row. As you can see, it's beautiful artwork, beautiful pattern. So we knit like so until the end of this row. At the end of this row we knit a front stitch, then again the last one, the last loop, front stitch. Then we turn the work, and we knit further. Now we reverse the work and we knit this way. So we take the right needle, we take the first loop and we transfer it onto the right needle, and we do not knit it. Then we see a front stitch. Because the last loop in the previous row was a purl stitch, it makes on the front stitch a front stitch. So a front stitch. The next one is a purl stitch, a front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch. And as you can see, we follow how the loops are looking at us. So if we see a purl stitch, we knit the purl stitch. If we see a front stitch, we knit the front stitch, and so on. You knit one front stitch, one purl stitch, 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 one front stitch, one purl stitch. And this is how we knit until the end of this row, and then we repeat all from the first row, and you will be amazed how beautiful this pattern looks like, even on the reverse, on the back of this hat that we are making. It looks beautiful. Look at this. It could be used on by itself as something special, as a pattern. And this is also a nice, lovely pattern, which is the front side. Also beautiful pattern. The reverse side also beautiful pattern. So you can choose actually which pattern you like the most. Maybe you do the reverse pattern, or you do the front pattern like my hat. You can choose which one you like the most, and you can knit it that way. So we knit one purl stitch, one front stitch, and this is how we finish this row, knitting the same way: front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, and so on. And we knit 22-23 centimeters high. So then we do the crown. The crown I'm going to do off camera. So I wish you good luck in making this hat. Beautiful. This is our hat. This is how I finished it. I've made the crown, as you can see here. I made the crown like so, all stitched in one loop, and this is the pattern. Look how gentle and how beautiful and how extraordinary looking, and the color just complements it. It's a purple color, which is very nice, and as you can see, the pattern looks lovely. This is the back, this is the stitch from behind, and this is the last yarn, which I'd like to show you how I close it. So I use a neon green colored plastic needle, which is made especially for stitching garments, stitching knitted garments. So what we need to do is to insert this needle like so, and we follow the braid like so, this braid, the stitch, the braid of the stitch. So you take each loop and you drop, you follow the line. Now I do a knot to make sure, even if it's washed a lot, this hat, worn a lot, this hat, it does not unravel. So you need to secure it like so. So then you go down, you go further, and you follow the braiding, and you hide this yarn carefully. And this is it. We cut, put the needle aside, we cut this thread like so, and our hat is finished. It's beautiful, it's fantastic. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, this is a finished hat and let's talk about it. It's very beautiful. I'm very pleased the way it turned out. It's fantastic. I just love it. It's so soft, so beautiful, but at the same time it has some sort of feel to it, like it's tweed. Like, honestly, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. With this pattern you can knit, for example, a skirt, you can knit a cardigan, anything you wish, really, and it would look stunning. It's easy to do. In a couple of hours you can do a hat like this. This is the front, this is at the back. As you can see, the stitching is done here. I've done a careful job so it does continue the pattern like so, so it's not as visible. This is the stitch at the back. We wear with a stitch at the back this hat, and as you can see, it's fantastic. I just love this pattern, and it feels wonderful as well, and the yarn just complements it. The yarn is acrylic yarn, and the same way I am actually attracted to knit the same pattern, a hat, but just with bigger needles, and hopefully I can release it on my channel. We'll see. I'll see what I can do. But for today, this is the pattern. I hope you loved it. I hope you are absolutely amazed with it. And you can see it's stretchy. It will be stretchy to any head size. It would fit anyone, I think, anyone. If you love this pattern a lot, then please do a hat and write to me saying you've used this pattern, and hopefully you will going to like it, wearing it and receiving a lot of compliments from other people, from the family members, from your family and friends, and we can create beautiful things like so on my channel. Please watch other videos where I share other things that I know of, and this pattern you can't find anywhere else. It's purely my pattern, so you will be, I can guarantee you, you will be very pleased to make this garment. You will be very pleased to wear it. It will keep you warm in the weather, let's say cooler weather or so. Let me try now this hat on my mannequin. Let's see. So here she is. Just a moment. And this is the hat. As you can see, it looks fantastic. It covers the ears, it covers the forehead, it will keep you warm and tidy with the hair. It's covering the ears. This is a stitch at the back which is barely visible. This is the crown, which I made slightly looser here so that like in my case, I do a lot of hairdo, so I put a hairband on the top of my head, and I usually need more space at the crown. So it's actually very, very beautiful. I love it, and hopefully you love it too. Please leave comments below about what else would you like to see on my channel, and please put likes and subscribe, and see you soon in the next videos. So please visit me as often as you can, and we can create beautiful things together. Please subscribe too. Bye. Bye.